Welcome back to the Something in the Wilderness podcast, a music discussion podcast about the songs of Andrew McMahon. Each episode gives us an opportunity to take on another song, usually with a guest, sometimes without, and we always talk about music, lyrics, the meaning of the song to us, and we tell stories and talk about memories that we've made with the music. But most importantly, we get to hear from fellow Andrew fans along the way, and that's what I love about this show. So today we have some new guests on the show, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They've come to us, I think we started chatting a couple of years ago, and have been chatting back and forth, and now we're finally getting together to talk about a song. So I'll bring you in. Go ahead, Kristie.
Hi guys, I'm Kristie Brosh and I have my daughter here.
I'm Kayleigh.
We are in Atlanta, but we traveled all over the Southeast and sometimes outside of the Southeast for all of our Andrew fandom. So we're excited to be here, Steve.
Thank you guys so much for joining, and it's so cool that Kayleigh's here too, because so I get to hear two different Andrew, how I got into Andrew stories here, I bet.
Yeah.
And then we get to hear about something really special that happened just a couple years ago. So how did the two of you find Andrew? And I bet there's probably some connection now that the two of you are both into his music, right?
Yeah, I was brought in by my sister, Tiffany. She's been referenced in another episode back when we downloaded off of LimeWire, and she's like, listen to this band. And that was back when Something Corporate was out. So I want to say it was around 2003, 2004. And I have been a fan ever since. Kayleigh didn't really have a choice.
Sounds like my kids
she
too.
listened to Andrew in utero, and now she's a big fan, just as big as I am, I think.
Yep.
Kayleigh, do you remember the first Andrew song or album, or what was the first one that really stuck out to you that you were like, I like that song?
The Fire Escape, that's the one my mom's played in the car multiple times and caught my ear when I was 5 or 9 or that type of age, and I was like, oh, that's a nice song, and I just kept listening to more.
I think that's one that sticks out to my kids too. I have two daughters, and they both enjoy that one, and they recently went to the Jack's Mannequin show with me and talked about it here on the show, and they're big fans of some of the Jack's Mannequin stuff, mostly the Wilderness stuff, Something Corporate. But yeah, I would say they would see something very similar. Fire Escape was probably that, or Cecilia was an entry point for them as well.
Yeah, Fire Escape's got that good that everybody loves.
Yeah, very memorable chorus sing-along melody there.
Absolutely.
Yep. So you guys have been to some shows together, it sounds like. So I know, Kayleigh, that you went to the Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness show 2 years ago in fall 2023 for the New Friends tour, right?
Yeah.
Okay, was that your first Andrew McMahon show?
That was my first ever concert, ever.
Oh my gosh, what a special first concert.
I was very anxious because I was just sitting in my room and she was like, hey Kayleigh, you want to just try this or something? I was like, why not? And then I wasn't thinking anything big would happen, so I just tried. And then we were on our way to the show, we were driving there, and she's like, Kayleigh, you got it. And I was like, what? And we started listening to it over and over in the car just to make sure I didn't remove the lyrics.
So you had to memorize. So you got to sing with Andrew McMahon on stage at your very first concert ever?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I didn't realize it was your first concert. Yeah, I've never gotten to go on stage with Andrew or my favorite artist. So this is quite a wow, what a story. So a couple of years ago, Kristie and I, for the guest or for the audience, a couple of years ago, Kristie and I were chatting because I saw that her daughter was applying, and my daughters wanted to put in a video as well. And then Kayleigh ended up getting on stage. And so I chatted Kristie afterwards. I was like, I'm a little nervous. If my daughters get on stage, what to expect? And Kristie, you were so gracious and so nice, the way you responded. And you're like, this is kind of what happened. You gave me a little bit of the story there, just from what I would need to know as a parent. So, but let's go back to Kayleigh. So Kayleigh, you didn't find out until you were on the way to the show?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We were just listening, and did Andrew ever text you before?
Mm-mm.
Or he texted you right when we were driving?
We got the text as I was driving, and I was like, oh my gosh, Andrew McMahon just messaged me on Instagram. I need to pull
crazy.
over.
Pull over.
I was more excited because I was like, I know what he was messaging me for.
Yeah.
but I was just kind of shocked that Andrew McMahon was messaging
Texting me.
me.
Hmm. Yeah, that's wild.
It's about 3 hours away to get to Charlotte from Atlanta. So we had just left in that morning.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Can you be here for 2:30 for sound check?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll be there at 1:30. Sounds great. Perfect."
Well, good thing you left early.
Right? Well, you don't want to play in Atlanta traffic, so.
Yeah, I've heard and I've seen it, but it's been a long time. When you got there, you got to practice with him on stage during his sound check. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. It was like the first time I got to like see him. So I was like, oh my God, what's happening? What like everything was hitting me the first time, and I was like, oh, this is actually what it feels like being on stage, what he does like on a daily basically. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like when you look at it, you're like, wow, that's like cool to look at. But when you're on it, you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this. What's like how?
For most of us fans, even those have been around for 20 years following this guy, it's unimaginable, actually.
Yeah.
What a cool thing. And you had the lyrics memorized, right? I mean, you had to know the song pretty well to get up there and sing it. You did a great job.
Thank you. Like I said, like we listened to it like nonstop in the car on repeat, and I was like, "Wait, Mama, is it this way? Do I say it like this, or do I say it like this? What part do it?" Like I just kept asking
Yeah,
questions.
but she did a good job. She knew the
Absolutely.
basics
Hmm.
of it, but it was like when he switches up, like when he says dark blue and perfect shade and things, when he mixes it up in between each lyric.
Oh, right.
She did a good job, though.
Yeah, I just got to see that song performed live back in June because he's on the Jack's Mannequin tour this
Ugh.
year.
It means something different now once we see it,
Oh, I bet. I bet it's
because
like a
I'm
whole
just
it's a
all in my
family
feelings.
it's like a family song now, right? It's like on
Yeah,
the soundtrack to your lives. Has to be.
yeah. She had to do repeat because we went. That was in November,
Hmm.
Mhm.
so at Thanksgiving she had to perform it in front of my whole family. At Christmas she had to perform it in front of my whole family because it's like now the thing. That's what she does is she sings Dark Blue for everybody.
That's amazing. And in a kind of a side to that, your whole family now knows who Andrew McMahon is and the
Hmm.
song Dark Blue, which I'm willing to bet some of them didn't before.
Yep, absolutely. My mom has gone to a show with my sister and I back in like 20, you were a baby, so like 2014, maybe 2013.
Hmm.
We took my mom to her first Andrew McMahon
Oh, wow.
concert. She was overwhelmed. I think it was when Andrew was with Matt Nathanson.
That would have been a good one. Wow.
Yeah, it was a good show. But my mom, that was her first concert ever. So we have two people that have now Kayleigh's gone to a lot more shows since, but
Three, I think.
three, then more coming. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah,
But yeah,
awesome.
and then of course my sister, she's my usual concert buddy.
Your sister does the artwork, right?
Yes, she's the one that does the artwork.
Yeah, I follow her. Followed her on Instagram ever since Carolyn came on and talked to me a couple years ago, who's a good friend of hers, right?
Yep.
And she was like, "Yeah, my friend Tiffany and I have been really into this music for years." And so I followed, and I'm fascinated with her artwork, so I've been following it ever since.
Because I think, didn't Carolyn give you the picture of the stand-up Andrew that my sister made for her birthday?
I forgot about that, but I do have that picture, and I posted it
Yeah.
on Instagram back then. Yep.
Yep. She's a pretty talented lady. She always says, "You know that I'm cooler than you because I introduced you to this." And I was like, I very much understand.
That's hard for me to imagine because I mean, my brother and I are into some similar types of music,
Uh-huh.
but most of the music he's into, I didn't follow along in. We had very different
Mhm.
tastes in like middle and high school once we got our own taste. So it's really cool for me to hear when siblings are into music together and they go to shows. Like there's some like
Right.
I could see him and I at like a Linkin Park or a Blink 182 show,
Sure.
but that's about the extent of our overlap though.
Yeah, we have some decent overlap when we were younger for sure. And I
Hmm.
mean, Andrew, you don't just abandon that fandom.
No.
So her music has developed differently. Mine
Hmm.
has pretty much stuck with him
Hmm.
for the most part.
Well, that is such a cool story that you got to get on stage, Kayleigh, with Andrew McMahon and sing Dark Blue with him. And there is a video out on YouTube. One of our former guests, Kristen, I mentioned this in an episode where I had Kristen on the show.
Mhm.
Just another fan who you guys probably didn't know prior to that, maybe.
Nope.
And she was collecting all the videos of everybody who had sang on stage with Andrew and then put them together in a montage. So I will link that once again in this episode so everybody can see that. And actually, the link I'm going to drop is going to be the direct link to Kayleigh's part singing
Awesome.
Dark Blue, which again I just watched the other day. It was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a proud mom moment for me.
Oh, I bet.
I was standing in the audience crying, so it was fine.
I bet. Yeah, we had a great time at that show. I like that he finds unique ways to kind of engage the fan base. So I know that's important to him. We are here to talk about a song today, but before we do, we can't ignore what just happened the other day. So we're recording this on a Sunday. The 20th anniversary of Everything in Transit was yesterday. So, coincidentally, we're talking about Dark Blue on stage. Everything in Transit, 20 years was yesterday. And Andrew McMahon dropped a strings attached EP on streaming services on Friday, and it was 5 songs from Everything in Transit. Have you guys listened to it yet?
On repeat.
I bet, yeah.
I think I made a post. Don't mind me. This is my new identity. I mean, I love Everything in Transit. That it's a no skip album for sure. But those strings, it just feels different. I got all the goosebumps, and I even cried a little. And I was like, Kayleigh. She said a little. I really feel music, so it was something different. And it just hit different, of course, being 20 years of the album and its success, plus Andrew's success in life,
Absolutely. Kayleigh, did you get a chance to listen to it, or did you? It sounds like you had to listen to it whether you wanted to or not, right? Because it was just
That's
on in
very
your house.
true. But I think the two I listened to the most, it was Dark Blue, of course, that
Yeah.
one. What else did you show me?
Bruised.
Yeah, Bruce. Those are probably the most two I heard, and then I just hear just a little bit from her room.
When I heard that version of Bruised, I was like, I like Bruised so much better all of a sudden. I like that song, don't get me wrong. I've always liked it.
Right.
But that version was just hit me a little different. I was surprised.
Absolutely.
So I think that was the second track, I think. And I was like, okay, this is going to be my favorite one. And then I'm Ready came on, track 4, and I was like, oh,
That one.
it's over. Like, that's the
That was it.
pinnacle. Yeah.
That was it for me too. I was like, oh my gosh. Because it's a totally different vibe
Yep.
with the strings.
It reminded me that I'm Ready is probably one of my favorite Jack's Mannequin songs. Maybe my favorite.
Absolutely.
I don't know, but one of my favorites. And to hear it differently, I've heard live versions before, and I've heard it just
Right.
on Andrew on a piano, but just to hear it constructed and arranged differently, such a song that means so much to me, was a lot.
Yeah, it was. I think it was an emotional day for all of us, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Emotional weekend.
Absolutely. And yeah, it was just so cool to hear a little bit about that from Andrew in the last episode where we got to interview him.
Right.
And then and when it dropped, hearing it with all the fans, they had a fan get together on Thursday night, which I'm not sure. I think you were there, right?
I was.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I saw your name in there. And that was kind of cool. It was kind of a communal, like a listening party online.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. It was cool to know, kind of like watching a live stream live, even though you're at home, that there's other people watching the same show you are at the same time. So that kind of
and
felt
feeling
special.
the same things.
And feeling the same things. That's the most important part.
Yep.
That sense of community that comes from that. So
Absolutely.
that was cool. And I am not much of a vinyl collector, but I had to buy the vinyls.
You have to. It's just the part of the process.
The only vinyls I collect are Andrew McMahon vinyls. So now that's going to be my 5th one. I'm just going to put those together and collect. That's
I
my
love
5th
it.
Andrew album. So
I mean, I think just having a repress, because I don't know if you were on the Camp Wilderness Live when he was talking about how it was almost going to be impossible. I think I had asked the question right before the tour started, like, do you anticipate being able to repress? And he said it was almost impossible because of the people that he was in communication with at Warner Brothers. And that he's like, we would make no money. It would actually probably cost me money. And I was like, oh, okay, understood. I have my own copy. It's fine. I just wanted to check. And then to find this out, I was like, oh my gosh, he really does listen to us.
yeah, I do vaguely remember that. That was in the spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I do vaguely remember that. And so, yeah, because I remember coming away with, well, I guess they're not repressing. Again, I don't usually follow vinyl that much anyway, but when it dropped, I was like, well, I don't have a copy of it yet, so this is probably the time. And then they
Yeah.
released all those variants, and I was like, no, I give up. Like, I just need the copy. I just the Andrew McMahon store merch store copy. I'll take it,
Yeah.
and the strings attached. Of course, I got that too.
Yeah. We did the same. And then
Yeah.
I have my own set of vinyls. So does she. So I ordered a
Oh,
set
cool.
for her too.
Nice. Yeah, my daughter's gotten
Um,
a little bit into vinyl too. She's collected some Taylor Swift vinyl, so
Same. Kayleigh.
yeah.
Kayleigh and I both. We both have our own set of Taylor Swift.
But yeah, it's so much fun to be a passionate music fan.
Absolutely.
So today we're talking about Stars. Kayleigh, do you like the song Stars too?
I love the song Stars.
Oh, awesome. My kids like it too. My wife and I enjoy it. Stars is from the latest Andrew McMahon album, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness album, I should specify. And in fact, I thought this was also timely to do this song because I don't know if, Kristie, you knew this, but there were 38 songs performed at Red Rocks recently.
Hmm.
And there are only 2 songs on that set list that haven't been done on the podcast yet. And this is one.
Wow. Well, now you just have one.
I know. So I was like, all right, what timing? Kristie and I were chatting earlier this summer, and we were like, which song? And you said Star sounds like a good choice. And I said, yep, love the idea. And then Red Rocks happened, and I was like comparing my list to the set list that he did.
Hmm.
And I was like, wow, how perfect is that? We got to do this right away. So that
Yep.
I wanted this to be the first song after Red Rocks. So
Perfect. I'm ready.
I first heard the song in the summer of 2022, leading up to the Hello Gone Days tour. It was released back then, and I remember loving it from the moment I heard it. I remember my wife enjoyed it too. I remember it was a summer single,
Hmm.
which I want to point out because that full album didn't come out until like 7 months later.
Right. Hmm.
Kristie, did we even know there was a full album when the song came out? I don't remember
I
knowing
don't
that.
think so.
Yeah, I didn't think I think in January they dropped the news what the album was called and all of that.
I think you're right.
I didn't realize this until recently either. Good timing again. It was released almost exactly 3 years ago to the time of this recording. So
I didn't realize that either.
August 18th, 2022, and we're recording within a week of that.
It's a
So
lot of numerology going on today,
there
Steve.
there is. You like it? Yeah, you got to follow the trail of the numbers. Now, I know 3 years is a long time.
Mhm.
However, Andrew's made a lot of music in the last 25 years. And
Absolutely.
I just think it's so cool that this song has become what it's become in only 3 years. Like, can you believe that we've only had this song for 3 years?
I mean, it feels like it's part of our bloodline, because I think all of his music just infiltrates our life. And it
Yeah,
seems like we've had it longer than that. But
I do
I
too.
mean, the numbers don't lie, the dates
Yeah.
don't lie. So, yeah, you're spot on. This has made an impact very quickly.
It feels like a classic Andrew track, and
Hmm.
it's like one of the quote newer songs. So
Absolutely.
like it just fits right in with songs like Dark Blue that we talked about, Fire Escape we talked about.
Yeah.
Just fits right in there. Cecilia was mentioned earlier, so
Hmm.
I feel like it's one of those now. So it eventually became track 3 on Tilt of the Wind No More. Again, 7 months later on March 31st, 2023, but lived as a single prior to that. Do you remember first hearing this song and how you guys felt about it?
I remember him, I want to say he teased it a little
Mm-hmm.
on an Instagram story or an Instagram post, something like that. And I was like, oh, what is this? Because it just had a different kind of vibe to it. And then once we got the full one, I was like, oh, I really like this. And then, of course, you start dissecting. I wonder what that means. I wonder what this means. So we do all of our deep dives in our brain about what things are about. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I remember loving it from the moment I heard it.
How about you, Kayleigh? Do you remember hearing this song back then?
I remember hearing it around like 9 or 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about right because you're
Well,
12, so.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
you're
and then
exactly my
like
daughter's age.
I didn't really understand most of it,
Yeah, that's
kind of,
okay.
but like the
That's all right.
beat, the momentum, the melody,
Mm-hmm.
just like flew with it.
Yeah.
It made it feel nice.
Cool. Does it sound good to you?
Yeah.
I like the way it sounds too. It's like a cool, like fun, vibey song. I feel like a lot of people have a very positive reaction. A lot of fans, I should say. A lot of fans of Andrew McMahon have a very positive reaction to this song Stars that we're talking about today. It just
I
seems
agree.
like universally loved. Would you agree
Hmm.
with that?
I agree. I don't think I've heard anyone say, "Yeah, that's not really my jam." I haven't heard that
Yeah.
ever.
I was thinking about that a lot this past week. I'm like, yeah, when it came out, it was pretty positively received by fans. And when, I've heard it listed in top fives, top tens. Not always, but that's okay. But
Mhm.
I've just never heard it like you said. Like you put it well. You put it very well. Like it's never like not for me. Like it's yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good song.
it's for everybody.
That's another good song. Yeah, it is. It is. It does feel that way. So what is it about this song? So we're talking about this song today. You chose it. It must be something special. What is it about this song? What is it about that we love that I don't know? People seem to really enjoy about this song. Have you been able to pinpoint that?
I mean, I think overall it's just like a little bit of a different sound than
Mm-hmm.
what we were used to. I think, to be honest, Tilt was one that was very different
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to the other wilderness stuff that we've had.
Yep.
So I just think that was it. Once I started hearing it and listening to the lyrics, I resonated with it a little differently as a grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And now him confirming it, which we'll talk about later at Red Rocks, that it was meant for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I'm spot on with what I thought this song was about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think the personal nature of it definitely
hmm
gives it like we as fans want to know about Andrew. We want to know how he's feeling. We want to know how he's doing. And when
right.
he puts that out into the universe, I think we gravitate toward it. So I
Yeah.
think you hit it on the nose there. Like that's like we want to know what it's about. And like when he kind of puts something out there and then confirms like, yeah, this is a very personal story for me. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the one.
Yep. And now we just love it even more.
Yeah. But yeah, I chat with Andrew fans all the time, and I specifically remember someone telling me back then when it came out that they loved this song. She loved this song, she probably still loves this song, because it reminded her of the Jack's Mannequin era.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
So when I was preparing for this
Mm-hmm.
and going through some of the things which we'll talk about a little bit later with the music video and things,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of hints to Jack's Mannequin in the music video.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that and maybe it was a reflection of him and his relationship at that time. And then he put it into lyrics and made it into stars because I just think it definitely is almost nostalgic, I would say.
I would
A little
agree.
bit of a different sound for Wilderness, but it
Mm-hmm.
does give you some of that nostalgic vibes of Jax and what we used to love about even everything in transit.
You made a really good point there. I think what I'm hearing is reflective of the Jack's Mannequin era. Different sound, but lyrics are reflective and kind of ideas and feelings are reflective of the Jack's era. So it kind of
Yeah,
gives us this feeling of Jack's Mannequin without
yeah,
sounding like Jack's Mannequin.
yeah, absolutely. I agree
Yeah.
with you there.
That's awesome. I love that. So a couple of notes here. Do you know how long this song is? Like if you had to guess?
I was gonna say 3.5 minutes.
And I would have guessed that too.
Okay, what is it?
It's 4.5 minutes.
Oh, I just said
Really?
Yeah, for a modern song, like a
Wow,
modern
that's
quote,
kind of long.
I'm air quoting pop song, like or whatever,
Yeah,
pop alternative, indie pop song, like that's a long song.
yeah, huh?
I know that we
Very
clamor
impressive.
as a fan base for a song that's 9 minutes long in concert, 9.5 minutes long in concert. But that aside,
Yes, this is pretty long.
yeah, for the modern era, I feel like that's a long song. But
I
it
agree.
works. Like I don't notice
Absolutely.
neither you nor I notice that it's that long.
Right. We gave it 1 minute less, so we must be really vibing out.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have guessed 3 to 3.5 if you were to ask me that question.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
Wow.
wow, what's in that extra minute? I don't know. I like it, whatever it
Yeah, me
is.
too.
So yeah, it doesn't feel that long. I'm just impressed that it's that long, and like I said, it's pretty universally liked. So attention spans are getting worse and worse, and like I
They
noticed that some
are.
artists are like making 2.5 minute songs now, and I hope it doesn't drop any lower as an average. But
No,
I really like my like 3 to 4 minute songs, but for the
me
most part.
too.
So you've mentioned Tilt of the Wind No More as like a different
Mhm.
avenue for Andrew. What are your thoughts on that album as a whole?
It's one of my tops for
Wow.
sure.
Okay. I
I
didn't expect you
really
to say
enjoy
that,
it
honestly.
because I think about it that you and me, not Kayleigh
Hmm.
necessarily, but we've grown up listening along because we're all around the same age. So it
Hmm.
like kind of suits what's going on and reflects what's going on in our lives in that aspect. Not completely because we're not always going through the same things, but like this is very it's an adult album talking about like a referencing like adult topics that you wouldn't necessarily know that that's what it's about,
Right.
but like you can relate to it in a different way. And that's one thing I love about his music is it's always been relatable to me.
Yeah.
I
From
know.
his teenage lyrics
Mhm.
back in early 2000s to
Yeah,
being
because I
about
mean,
being an
he's
adult
only a
now.
year older than I am,
Yeah.
so it just makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that feels like, or oh yeah, I've been
Hmm.
there too.
Yep.
So I just think this album was in the right time frame, like, post having children and, watching them grow up and things like that are just referenced throughout all of Tilt, and I just really enjoy it.
Absolutely. Yeah. The reason I say I was surprised to hear you say that it's one of your favorites is because you alluded earlier to the fact that it's I think you outright said it was so different from what we had heard from the Wilderness in the past. So I thought maybe the way you put it, you were going to say, yeah, it was like a different thing, and I'm good with that, and I like it, but
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to say it was like one of your favorites though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I To be honest though, I don't have an album where I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I don't really either. Well, this entire album was produced by Andrew McMahon, Tommy English, and Jeremy Hatcher, who I've referenced on the podcast before, so I'm not going to go into
Mhm,
anything about them. I'm not sure when this song was recorded. I can only guess, and I'm going to bet
mhm.
it was like early to mid 2022 because I feel like they dropped this song and then it took a little bit of time to get the rest of the songs out. So I'm
Right.
thinking it was they made these songs in like mid 2022 if I had to guess, but just a
Yeah.
guess.
Makes an educated guess, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Let's talk live history. So we've already talked about live shows already, but I definitely want to touch on maybe come back to some of those points. Talk
Hmm.
about the live history of this song. I mentioned at the top of the episode that this song feels like a modern classic, like a regular, like a set list staple already.
Hmm.
It's been played live 115 times, which if you look at the average of like all of the setlist FM listings for every Andrew McMahon, Jack's Mannequin song, something corporate
Hmm.
song, it's actually pretty high up.
I was gonna say that's pretty high up there.
And I think it's been played. I'm just going to guess. I think it's been played at just about every, if not every, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness show since that song dropped.
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But again, really impressive for a song that's only been around for 3 years, 115 times. The first time
Yeah,
it
that's
was
awesome.
played on record was July 31st,
Okay.
2022, before it was released. 109 of those times are as The Wilderness, and 6 of them are with Andrew McMahon solo. I had the chance to see this one on just a piano in
Oh,
Indianapolis in June 2023. Incredible. I don't know if you did you watch that live stream where he was from London in July that year?
I did. I did.
Okay, so what you saw was basically what we got.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so if anybody somehow has that recorded or whatever, like that's what it sounded like. That was just incredible, like to hear songs like that broken down on just a piano. It was really cool. I love the full band version, love the piano solo version. Both are great.
Yeah.
Now, Kristie, the most recent time he's played it live was at Red Rocks, and you were there for that.
I was. I was. It was a very impromptu trip. I think I decided to go maybe 2 weeks prior.
Whoa.
I was struggling with it at first to even go because I'm like, oh, like I'm going to see him with Jax in Charlotte and then I'm going in Atlanta. And yeah, and then so I was just like, you know what? It's a bucket list venue that I've never been to
Hmm.
and bucket list performance. So I
Definitely.
just took the leap and Cindy took me in like a little,
Oh, you got to
she
hang
had
out with
like a little
Cindy while you were
hostel
there?
for
Cindy
me.
from the Happy episode.
Yep. Cindy from the Happy episode, and we went and had a wonderful time together.
Yeah, speaking of strings, Cindy,
Hmm.
I hung out with her and her husband on the Holiday from Real cruise last year. Got
Oh,
to know
she's
them a little
awesome.
bit. So very, very cool people.
Yeah, very
Looking forward
cool.
to seeing her again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did text her when the strings dropped. I was like, "Did you hear it?"
I know. I totally thought of her too. That's funny. Yeah,
And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good."
and to know that a great violin player approves and is like, yes, this is good. Like, kind of
Yeah.
validates me a little bit. Like, yes, I thought it was good too. So
Yeah. It's not just our ears playing tricks.
right. Yep. At Red Rocks, though, Michigander, Jason Singer from
Yeah.
I think his name, Jason Singer from
Jason.
Michigander, came out and sang this song with Andrew.
Yeah, that was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
I was not expecting any special guests, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
So when we got that, I was like, oh, wow.
Did they open on the New Friends tour when you saw them as well? Do you
They
remember?
did. Yep, with Wilderness.
So I really enjoyed them, and I didn't know them prior to that.
Me neither.
They're also going to be on the next Holiday from Real. I'm looking forward to seeing them. And
I am too.
I also was surprised that he was out on stage with Andrew, and he sang the whole second verse. I rewatched it today, and I had to remind myself that. But
It was so good.
yeah,
He did such a good job.
they seem like good friends, and
Yeah, absolutely.
I love to see that on stage. I love seeing artists have a good time on stage, and like I'm pretty sure Jason from Michigander was just like enamored with the whole thing. Like, I'm on stage with this guy I love playing with. I love
Right.
his music, and I get to be on this like huge stage, kind of like Andrew felt, same way Andrew felt about the whole thing,
Right.
right? Like so proud and excited to
I
be
mean, we
there.
were proud for him, right?
Yeah, what an accomplishment.
hmm
Yeah, overall, I saw your Instagram post, and that looked like a pretty incredible experience. Just, I love the spontaneity behind it all, like what you did. I envy that you got to do that. So,
Yeah, thankfully, I have a very supportive spouse who
mhm,
allows, not that he gives me permission, but
mhm.
he's like, I'll take care of
I
the
know what
kids.
you
You
mean.
go do what makes you happy. And I'm appreciative of that because I
Hmm.
also am going to the 11/11 show. I just decided that yesterday.
Oh,
Well,
told me that.
I will see you there.
See you
That's
there.
my hometown. I
Oh,
have to be there.
really?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you did say that you could always bunk up with somebody.
Yeah, my parents are still there. My brother's down the road. Two of my best friends have homes that they said I could always stay at. So yeah,
Awesome.
there's always a room to stay in there. So
I decided this year to just do all the musical things that we can. We've been buying concert tickets like it's milk.
I it'd be very hard for me to skip a Detroit 11/11. Like the only 11/11s I've gone to are Chicago in 2022, and then on the actual cruise last year.
Cruise, right?
And if you count the Rock Boat was technically on an 11/11 a few years back in 2021,
Yeah.
but he did do a Philly show afterward. I was like, I have to, and I've never been to like the actual VIP night. So if they do something the night before, like they have in past years,
hmm
I definitely want to be there for that. So we'll see. We'll see. We don't have any news on that yet, but I'm hoping that's happening because like it's kind of right up the road. It's just a few hours from me. Like probably as quickly as you can get to Charlotte, I can get to Detroit. So
Oh, there you go. You're very close then.
yeah. Oh, I'm excited for you, and I'm excited about that show. So you said you saw Jack's Mannequin in Charlotte earlier this year.
hmm
You're seeing them in Atlanta as well.
Yes.
So right where you live, that's amazing.
Well, we did do VIP when we were in
Hmm.
Charlotte,
Yeah.
and I had been asking him every single one of our little, Zooms that we have with him, um, to play What Gets You Off.
Uh huh.
And just so happened during sound check, that is what he played. And I was
Really?
like, because that's something I've
Wow.
never heard
By
in real life.
request, sort of, kind of.
I didn't tell him then. He just did it.
Mm.
And I was like, it was meant, I told him
Oh,
when we did the meet and greet portion, I was like,
mm-hmm.
I just want you to know I've been asking for that song for a while and you listened. And he's like, well, I'm glad. Because
Well,
he didn't do it for me, but I felt like he did.
well, that is one, not an often played song, and
hmm
two, not an often requested song.
Yeah. I mean, and then he didn't perform it during the show
Right.
itself. It was
Just testing it out, I bet.
just testing it out, see how he liked it, I guess.
Hmm. So, sneak preview of future sets. Maybe that'll come around
Maybe.
in the fall. Like
Mm,
maybe
who
trade out
knows?
Bloodshot for What Gets You Off. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Because Bloodshot, I really didn't expect either, but I saw that in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely. So, getting back to Stars, as I said, I think we can expect to hear this one every time the Wilderness plays in the future, just because
Absolutely.
it's such a staple now.
Do you think that Jason will come during the cruise and play this with him? I feel like that would be fun.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah, kind of like a callback, sort of like they did with the
hmm
Will and Brian thing from
Yeah,
the cruise to the Red Rocks. Now
yeah,
from Red
that'd be
Rocks to the
cool.
cruise, kind of
Because
connect
I
the
think
two.
Jason did a great job.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I love those. those sometimes spontaneous, sometimes planned collabs they do on the ship sometimes. Andrew jumped on stage with Jukebox the Ghost to do Wasted, which I love that song.
Love that
by
song.
Jukebox
That's
the
a good
Ghost.
song.
Yeah. So I was like going nuts. We were pretty far back. We were just kind of chilling on the upper balcony. But when that happened, I was like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for.
That's awesome.
But I love those collabs. So it would be really cool if Jason came on stage for Stars, or maybe another song. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe
Or maybe
they'll do a different one.
Andrew will show up for that song that he did with Jason, and now I can't remember the name. Split Decision.
Split Decision. Yeah, yes. Good reminder. I need to go listen to that song again.
Yeah, we'll be prepared just in case.
Yeah.
For anything that happens.
You've seen Andrew, it sounds like, quite a bit over the years, and Red Rocks was a top tier moment. That probably goes without saying, but Kayleigh's performance in Charlotte a few years ago, top tier performance. So you've got some like pretty special memories with Andrew on stage.
You know, he's a part of our family, whether he likes it or not. Because there are a lot of memories that have been built around his music. And I think that is part of our fandom, I would say, is that we all have something that ties us back to him in some way, shape, or form through his music.
My family could relate to exactly what you're saying right there. He's just part of the culture here. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk a little bit of songwriting here. So we've already touched a little bit on this, that this song feels very personal to Andrew. The song Stars. The song was co-wrote by Andrew and Sammy Witt. Witt has also co-written or written songs for Harry Styles. So, Kayleigh, you might know some of these artists as well. Harry Styles.
She's looking like, huh?
This guy, the same guy that wrote Stars. He wrote for Harry Styles. He wrote for SZA. He wrote for Halsey. He's wrote for Noah Khan. Is that the way you say it?
Yep.
Okay. My daughters are into that artist, but yeah.
Okay, Andrew.
Yeah, so Andrew's working with, these people who are working with these huge pop artists. But I don't think I've ever seen Sammy Witt's name anywhere else attached to Andrew McMahon, just on this song. But that's interesting that he came in, wrote this incredible song with Andrew, and then went out and wrote, with these other incredible artists as well.
And it explains the pop vibe to Stars too, I think.
It's definitely catchy, very catchy melody. Makes you want to keep listening. But the connection of Sammy Witt with Andrew makes sense because Jeremy Hatcher was a producer on Harry Styles' album as well. So it makes sense that they probably knew each other. Consequence of Sound. I'm going to talk about an article that I read in Consequence of Sound back in 2023 now. This is where Andrew gave a description of every single song, kind of as a promotional article of Tilt to the Wind No More. And I'm going to read that right now. So this is what Andrew had to say about the lyrics here. It's all in the lyrics on this one. My wife wanted me to hit the dance floor with her at this dive bar after I'd had one too many. I was feeling self-conscious, and I turned down the invitation. Eventually, I came to my senses, but I'd already killed the vibe. The night ended with both of us upset, and me getting into the back of a car I thought was our Lyft, but it wasn't. The driver thought she was being carjacked and screamed so loud that the whole street turned to look at the scene I'd caused, which only led to further humiliation.
Oh, man.
Anyway, it seemed like a proper jumping off point to celebrate the beauty and weirdness of a love that has seen me through some of my darkest and most triumphant moments. That night was neither, but it spoke to me. Kristie, do you think this backstory, it's part embarrassing, part funny, but deeply personal and very memorable, does it change the way you interpret the song when you hear that?
Maybe a little. That whole Lyft thing with the
yeah, I didn't know about that either.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like someone getting in the back of your car and like, fine, all of us are okay. We know Andrew McMahon, but this person obviously did not.
I would die. I'd be like, oh my God, it's Andrew McMahon in my car.
Right, but she didn't know it was Andrew.
She didn't know, and she was like, oh my God, why are you in my car?
Yeah, but I can imagine how that would happen because the way those Lyft and Ubers work, it's like, oh, that looks like the car we're supposed to get. Yeah, let's just get in the car.
Oh boy, poor Andrew.
Yeah, at least he can look at it and laugh, and we can all laugh now. Yeah. But I bet it was horrifying for everyone at the time. Kelly, his wife included, I'm sure. Like,
oh, she was probably more embarrassed than him.
Yeah. Like, come on, Andrew, let's go home. Stop getting other people's
cars. First,
you
don't dance with me, and now you're going to try to get in some other lady's car.
Yeah. Whoops, wrong car. What I think moments like that, what he described, it makes a song more relatable, don't you think? Like just like
I agree.
awkwardness. Like it's not always like life isn't always perfect. It's not always like we went out and had a celebration. It was a beautiful moment, and we came home and said goodnight, and everybody woke up and had a beautiful day the next morning. Like it's not. It can
Right.
be like that, but it's not always like that.
Not always, right?
Yeah.
And, I think we all have moments where we maybe signed up for something that maybe we didn't really feel like doing, and then and then when the time comes, you say no and you feel bad. That I feel like that might, and that's me. I'm the
Ooh.
one that does that a lot. I'm like, oh
Ooh.
man, I shouldn't have signed up for that years ago.
You just triggered a memory for me. My wife, we signed up for swing dancing lessons about
Oh.
had to be 14 years ago because it was before we had the kids.
Hmm.
It didn't go well. It was my fault. Yeah, I'm so self conscious about like learning a dance and someone telling me the steps to do, and I can't do the steps, and I'm just like, I didn't give up. I stuck with it till the end.
Well, that's good.
But it
It
was
was not the
frustrating.
best moment of your life.
Yeah. So like,
You're
wow,
not a
when you
pro, you're not a professional swing dancer, I don't think so.
No, no. Gave it a shot in college. That didn't happen. And then tried it again like 14 years ago and even worse. So sorry to my wife. But
Hey, you gave
I
it a
can
good
identify
college
with this.
try.
Yeah. Andrew had this also to say in a different interview. So the network.com interview. He said, I do love the imagery in the chorus of stars falling through a rooftop. I always see imagery like the kids' book, The Little Prince. The song is really about how loving someone can be both beautiful and painful. How the hardships and joy visited upon the person you love become your own. When you really love someone, you love them, baggage and all. And he quotes his own song, The stars that fell for you left holes in my roof. They fell for you, and I'm falling too. And he goes on to say, the genesis of the song is mapped out in the first verse. A night of drinking, a misunderstanding in a bar, and everything that follows. Some of my best love songs find me in the morning after an argument. When the dust
Mhm.
settles and you realize you're still in love with all that messiness and good, and you thank God you're loved the same. Kind of a beautiful
Spot
sentiment
on.
there.
Good
Yeah.
job, Andrew. And I love The Little Prince.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that story. I probably should be. Like that's probably one of those that like everybody reads, right? So, do you connect with this idea that the best love songs might come from like that whole morning after the conflict, but then kind of coming back and reconciling and thinking, but this is so great because that can happen, and we come back together and
Yeah.
say, this is okay because we
Yeah.
accept each other.
Absolutely. And I think when he even referenced his own lyrics, that the stars fell through the roof,
Hmm.
like you came in guns blazing with all your mess, and we're still here
Hmm.
together, and vice versa. I would assume that Kelly probably feels the same,
Yep, they accept each other.
as they are.
All the stuff we bring. When we're individuals when we come to a relationship, and we're still individuals within that relationship, and
Hmm.
respecting that, and working through the things like that, like the incident, on the dance floor and things like that. So
Right. Absolutely.
it's
Not
important.
everything is rainbows and butterflies, right?
Right,
It's
right,
about how sometimes it is about you finding the way out of something that isn't great, that is a little
right.
murky, a little muddy,
Yeah.
and finding your way out together.
And resilience is a very important quality to have in a relationship, and in your
Absolutely.
own personal life, for your mental health as well. Just having the ability to get through hard times.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the sound of the song. So I've heard this described, and I can't remember where I read this. I quoted it, and I couldn't tell you where it came from. Maybe social media. Someone called it slick, emotional. It might have been one of those opinion articles or something.
Hmm.
Someone called it slick, emotional pop that still feels deeply personal. And I kind of like
I
that.
love that.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
that sounds right.
sure,
Spot
person on the
on. Good
internet.
job,
Like,
whoever you
yeah,
were.
whoever wrote that. I didn't write that. I don't remember where I read it, but I saw it somewhere. How does the sound of this song make you guys feel?
I mean, that is the perfect description. I was just gonna say that like I can feel the lyrics deeply, but the vibe, like even without the lyrics, just the musicality of the song feels good.
Hmm.
You know, nothing specific that I can think of in that musicality. It's just the whole how it's been arranged and everything. It just sounds like it feels.
Despite the conflict at the beginning of the song, like lyrically,
Mhm.
the music to me feels uplifting, feels hopeful.
Absolutely.
It's something about like how they play the instruments and I don't know the
Hmm.
technical aspects as I've
I'm not
admitted
that
several
technical
times.
either.
Yeah, but I just love it. It sounds uplifting. It seems very intentional that like there is hope at the end of this, despite what we get through
Yeah,
it. And I feel
absolutely.
that in the music.
Yeah, I agree.
I've used this sound to describe other songs on Tilt at
Hmm.
the Wind No More and other episodes, but I hear this like atmospheric sound in the background.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like it's like very like I'm not gonna try to imitate it with my voice, but just this
Yeah.
atmospheric sound throughout the whole song, and you hear it at other places on the album as well.
Yeah, almost
And
like a happy white noise.
like yeah, just kind of behind the music, it's like
Hmm.
coming through like kind of like a kind of a shining light through the music.
Yeah.
So, but
I
auditorily,
think of Galaxy when I hear it.
Oh, she says galaxy,
That's what I think of.
okay.
which we know Andrew loves space.
Oh yeah, yeah. So many. Yeah, like looking at a galaxy, looking at space.
Mhm.
Like definitely, yeah.
Like when you look at space, it's what you look at and you hear, like, let's say you hear like a wow or something like that, or like
Hmm.
you hear like something like fading off or fading in. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, that's a good point. Kind of like so, like the sound you hear when you look at the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's good.
Good job, Kayleigh.
Yeah. Do you have any other ways that you describe like the sound of the song before we move on?
Like the melody and stuff. Some parts of the song that's like basically the chorus, I'm falling to that part. It
Hmm.
just like it makes you sink in and feel like you're going in a black hole. It just feels nice.
Oh,
We'll
great.
keep her.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love this. I love this like analysis of the sound and the
Yeah,
lyric. That's really
she's
cool.
great. I wouldn't have even picked up on that, to be honest. So good job. See, this is what music does. Different people hear different things.
So that's why I love these conversations. You hear it from a different perspective, and almost every time I have these conversations, I hear the song at least a little bit differently
Hmm.
after these conversations. I love that. I love that about this.
Well, I'll let you know that we also, after you dissect the song with that person, we also hear it a little differently too.
Oh,
So,
thank you for saying so. Yeah,
absolutely.
I love the conversation that it creates, like even if
Hmm.
you're not in the episode, you can chat me afterward and you can be like, "Yeah, I heard that too." Or some people will disagree and I'm like, "That's totally cool too." Like, "No, I didn't get that." Like, I hear it this way or this is how I interpreted that lyric. You interpret it a little bit differently and that's perfectly fine. So I've got all kinds of chats where like we're going back and forth and it's so cool that
All opinions.
yeah,
Yep,
just the
everybody's
different
got one.
opinions. Yeah. I had a college professor that would say, a freshman college professor, I still remember this so many years ago, everybody has an opinion and a belly button. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's
I
true.
mean, it's
I
true.
don't know. Yeah. Uh, so I always thought that was funny when he said that. But yeah, I think this song's a nice blend of a ballad, but kind of something that makes you want to sway back and forth when you hear it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, belt out the lyrics. So,
Yeah, it's one of those, I know we're going to speak of our age, but a lighter song. Like you put your lighter up and,
yeah,
that's what
it's a
this song
phone
is for me.
now, but like,
It's a
yeah,
phone now.
definitely
People
was
don't
a
carry
lighter
lighters.
20
Yeah.
years ago, 15, 20 years ago
Yeah.
plus.
Yep.
You carry the
The
lighter
phone's
on you.
Yes,
safer.
we carried a lighter,
Yeah.
Kaylee.
Oh yeah. I was like the phone's safer for sure, but like
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's classic to have the lighter. Like I miss
You
that.
only burned a few fingertips.
Yeah. Oh, let's how about we talk lyrics?
Sure.
Does that sound good? Are there any specific lyrics that either of you want to touch on? And I don't do you have the
I'm
lyrics in
pulling them
front of
up
you?
right now. So I know I would like to talk about we have flirted with the disaster. You were there in the beginning. I'll be there for what comes after.
Great
Because
lines.
just like we talked about a little earlier, it's about getting through those muddy waters and finding each other on the other side of whatever it is you're working
Hmm.
through. This one was a disagreement about dancing, but some things are not just disagreements about dancing. It could be anything. But just being there for them, whatever it is, it's like part of your marital vows in a way, you know,
Hmm.
sickness and health till
It
death do we part.
it's pretty cool that the first 4 or 5 lines are the story. Like here's what happened.
Right.
And then those lines that you just read are more of the like poetic, let's lead into the chorus. Let me kind of break this down how this feels now. I really like that about that part. That was good lines to
Yeah.
start with right there. It was I actually have those highlighted. Yeah, the whole like how it feels to be in this and be in it for good,
Yeah.
be in this for the long term. And then he leads into the stars that fell for you. It's funny. I think a lot of times I've heard this song. I've said this things like this in the podcast before. I always hesitate to admit this, but like pretty sure I thought the lyrics were left holes in my room when it's obviously roof. Like I feel like I've sang
I
both
think
at
I've
different
probably
I
sang
think
times.
both.
room, I think
I think I've said room before too.
Yeah, I think it's the way, maybe it's the way he sings it live or
Hmm.
something, that sometimes it sounds like roof. And I'm not saying he says room,
I don't think
No,
I've
but
but
ever
like
said
maybe it
roof.
just sounds that way.
yeah, I don't think I've ever said roof, but roof makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I feel like I'm conflating the
Yeah.
two right now.
And now I'm
Like,
trying to
like
think.
which is it? It is
It is
roof,
roof,
right?
yeah.
It makes way more sense
Okay.
than
Well,
room.
I was like, is my lyrics website wrong
No,
again?
roof is right. But now it's like, man, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. But there's sometimes, like he has quite the repertoire of songs. And we've seen enough
Mm-hmm.
shows that even like songs that we know, sometimes we miss the lyrics. Like when we were listening to Dark Blue, I got them a few times wrong because
Mm-hmm.
he mixes up just a little bit, but it's enough to be different.
By the way, musical talents aside, there's no way I could ever get on stage with one of my favorite artists and sing because I'd never remember the lyrics. I'm terrible at remembering
She did
lyrics.
good. And I was in
Yeah.
the front row and like mouthed them just in case she needed that
Uh-huh.
reassurance that she was doing the right one. I would have just stood there like, uh. There was one thing she did do though that made, and I'm sure you may have seen the photos that I posted that Connor took from that. And she like,
Mm-hmm.
we were boxing the stars, and she like put her hand up like this. I was like, okay, rock star.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't,
I
yeah, I don't
don't
know if you
remember
know this, but when
that.
I was
I got to go
in the
back and
back
look
seat
at
and
that.
stuff, and when we were going through the song, I was like, what should I do? Because like just staying there is so keep boring. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, and I don't think anyone was expecting that because
no.
the crowd goes because they just saw her like
Yeah, hand motions and
become a rock star
that
all
must
of a
have felt
sudden.
so good for both of you. The crowd went wild.
I just was back like in the back seat of the car, and I was like, what should I do? Because I don't really want to stand there. So at least one move to make
Yeah, she did it.
wow. So I
Well, and then I did something with my hand on my chest, and Andrew looked at me and he put his hand on his chest and then pointed at me like, you should be proud of her. And I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
am.
I love hearing about that. That is so cool.
But like whenever you're done with like when you're done getting on the stage and like when you're done with all the like stage stuff and you're like backstage, you're like, I can't believe I did that. Like that my whole feeling was like it's done, but like
How did I do
how
it?
did I do that? Because like my whole life dreaming, like ever since I was born or like a little child, I was like I want to sing, songwrite, make music or something like that. And then when I like did the auditions, I was like, okay, let's just try this because I didn't think I was gonna get in or anything. And then when I got, I was like, wow, this is happening. And then after I was like, I can't believe I first thing I did was ran to my mom and I cried because like it makes sense because it's your mom. You've told your mom like, mom, I want to do this when I grow up, and then your mom sees you actually doing it. It's like, wow.
Dream come
Yeah.
true.
Well, and then I just think, Andrew's integrated into our lives in such a way that when she becomes what she wants to become, she can always say, my first experience on stage was
Or
an
like
Andrew McMahon concert with my mom.
or like
Yeah.
Andrew Command made me like want to become a singer because like he was the first artist I was like, oh, I like this guy. I
Yeah.
want to
Hmm.
continue listening to him.
Yeah. So,
And then like
So cool.
the second concert I went to and I heard it, I was like, wow. Hearing it like seeing it again, I'm like, I can't that's the song I sung on stage. And I'm hearing it
Yeah.
live again,
That
and
that's
I'm
got to
like,
be
what? So of course, cried.
unreal.
And then, like, the thing where Andrew, like, looked at me, did the thing, I think
yeah,
that was to
he's
you,
looked,
but
yeah.
then he gave me the set list, and it was like, he actually, like, remembers everything.
Yeah,
And,
he
like,
remembers her. And I think that's cool. And then when he gave her the set list this last show in Charlotte, this last one in June, he gave her the set list, and then J Mac came down, gave her the drumsticks, and then we got it.
Got a pick,
But
signed.
yeah, Bobby threw a pick. So it's just like she's really cool.
So there's something I wanted to mention about the lyrics here, and it's the mention of the word hole, which is kind of a weird segue, but we were holed up in the corner of a cowboy bar. He uses it there, right? The stars that fell for you left holes in my roof, and there's a hole in the sweater you told me that you're going to patch up.
Yeah.
I just think it's neat that he uses the word hole 3 different ways in the song, like one as a verb, hold up, and then the other 2 as definitely a noun, but in different contexts, like the hole in his roof that the stars are coming through, and then the hole in his sweater that he needs patched up. But I think there's some symbolism there within the lyric. I think it's, there's a, in a relationship, there's a hole or a void we're looking to fill, and that person, our person, helps us fill that gap.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, side note, I was born with a heart condition. I technically have a small pin-sized hole in my heart. And so my cheesiest line to my wife for our entire relationship has been, when I was born, I had a hole in my heart, but my last appointment, they said, it's a miracle. It's filled.
Aww.
So, but that yeah,
job,
I know.
Steve.
I know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, my wife is like my wife says the same thing. Aw, and then kind of punches my arm. Like really.
You're so corny, but she loves you.
Yeah, but I think she also likes that I'm corny. So
I mean,
I think that's part of
she wouldn't be with you
if
she didn't enjoy that part of your personality. Because my husband's also corny. He doesn't tell me things like that, but it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he comes up with things.
That I'm like, really?
Yeah. No. I say all kinds of weird things, but that was like the funny, the one I think I said it at like our rehearsal dinner even, like, and of course everybody did the same thing that you guys did, the resounding aw. So yeah, Andrew, you're right in the soundtrack to my life here, like talking about filling the hole in my heart here, but using metaphors like sweaters and roofs, or room.
I mean, he does do a really good job with metaphors.
He does. I love his metaphors. Another line I wanted to point out is the lines you mentioned earlier. I like how they change in the leading into the second chorus. It's slightly, he keeps the "we have flirted with disaster," but then it's I was there in the beginning when you were swinging from the rafters.
From the rafters, yeah.
So that kind of dangerous early times, like the unpredictable, spontaneous, like early times, and he's still there.
Yeah.
There is a line in this song that we haven't. I'm actually surprised it hasn't come up yet. But I think we might, all like light bulb as soon as I say it. It's this line that, again, 3 years the song's been out, but I feel like this line's like always been here in the fan base. It's like a huge line. I think people have tattoos, people have shirts, people reference it. And what they say is a world without color is a world without color is a world without you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a very highly referenced Andrew McMahon lyric. And again, it feels like it's always been there, but I love that one.
And that one always mentally brings me back to synesthesia. And I just think, because he references a lot of color, obviously, in that song as well. But I mean, it's true. Like, you're living in black and white until you find that person that fits and fills the hole that you're missing in your heart, and then everything's in Technicolor.
I think it's the reason a lot of people connect with this song. It's one of those singable lines that a lot of us like. And I think that like the meaning you just made of it is one interpretation. I think there's other types as well. That the reason that and that's a reason that this song means so much to them, because it represents like this kind of bigger thing for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did want to. This is kind of like a funny aside, maybe, I don't know. Do either of you like country music?
I do not.
I do.
Kayleigh does.
Yeah.
I do
Okay.
not.
So I'm gonna read these first 4 lines of the song. Can you imagine the song with a slide guitar being sung with like a countryish accent? I'm sorry. This is gonna upset some people, I think. We were holed up in the corner. I'm not gonna try to do like a twang.
Oh, come on, Steve.
No, I'm not. I'm no actor. I don't have accents here. I'm just gonna read it, but picture it with like a country twang and like a slide guitar in the background with no piano. We were holed up in the corner of a country bar. When you asked me to dance, I couldn't answer. But I met you on the floor and we left in a fight. In the cab back home, all I could think about was second chances. Like, couldn't you hear like
That's
Luke
very.
Bryan or like someone like that?
Zach Bryan,
Zach
like
It could
Bryan.
totally be. It could totally be a country song.
I know a
It
lot of it
totally
has
could
to
be.
do with the cowboy bar. Like I know that's
Uh-huh.
like kind of like on the nose, but
And then also like dancing on the floor. I feel like a lot of country people like
get
dance
on the
or
dance
Yeah, they do a
something
lot of
floor.
line
or
dancing.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, and just kind of that like sulky, like got in a fight, get in the cab, like second chances. Like I don't know. I couldn't help but note. I hope that doesn't upset anybody, but like, and including Andrew
And just
himself,
a
like,
recognition.
but
Yeah.
I just think it's like another way
I
of looking
mean,
at it.
country music has a certain theme,
Uh huh.
and this just happens to fit that theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Let me be clear. I don't think he was
Country
trying to write a country
No,
song.
I
That
do
wasn't the
not.
intention. It doesn't sound like one, but like,
It could.
I do maintain the theory that the greatest pop songs could probably be done in any genre, right?
Absolutely.
Pop punk, country,
Bro.
whatever other kind of things that you like. So,
I mean, we see all the people doing like Taylor Swift as punk rock and stuff. And
Yeah,
oh
but she
yeah,
used to
I
be a
like those
country
videos.
person.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember. It's DJ somebody.
yeah. There's a guy named Alex Melton on YouTube, and he
Hmm.
does like, what if Taylor Swift was pop punk? And
She would be great at it.
yeah, she would
Actually,
actually. Like
She would be
maybe
great.
not metal,
she
but
should do a pop punk album, all
Ah,
like 16 of her
random.
favorites in pop punk form.
yeah. There's a guy on Instagram, and I think he like Swemo, something
Yeah.
Swemo,
Oh, I forgot that.
I've seen that.
and I'm like totally.
He does the
Like,
mashups,
perfect.
right? Taylor
Yeah,
Swift and
yeah.
emo songs. Yeah.
Does a good job.
Anything else about the lyrics?
I like the looking for a lighter in the bedside drawer. Found a picture and a pack of matches from another lifetime. You know, like you have that drawer of memories, or
Yeah.
like that memory
Junk drawer.
box. Yep. And it just makes you remember, like, hey, look how far we've come.
I literally have one of those like on my dresser, not far behind this door right here. It's an old jewelry box that someone gave me, maybe a grandparent. I can't remember, maybe my mom. I don't remember.
Hmm.
And I used to put like concert ticket stubs in there, and I ran out of room very quickly, obviously.
I mean, absolutely.
So those are in a different spot. Not that we get those anymore, but like
I
there's a lot
wish.
of like little things like guitar picks and like there's a
Hmm.
couple stickers like that I've gotten from places and like I can't like my class ring, my high school class ring is in there.
Yeah, like
Just
your
as like
memory
going way back.
box, just
Yeah, so it's a
things,
memory box. Yeah,
sentimental things.
I don't wear jewelry except for my ring, my wedding
Right.
ring, but it has like a lot of little artifacts from my life. Like if you were to open that, you'd learn some things about me.
And I think that's what he does there is
Yeah.
he feels bad, he ruined the night,
Hmm.
and then he just happens to go in the drawer for whatever it might be, and then he sees something from their past and it just re-sparks the love he has for her.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, I love the way you put that. Absolutely. It's the end of the night and or the morning or whatever,
Hmm.
and he's like, yeah, this is why we're here. This is why we're doing what we're doing. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not about what happened there, in the cab or
I'm
before that.
sorry. That
Yeah,
did happen. I'm sorry.
yeah,
But remember
yeah,
this.
But you love me and I love you and we'll be fine.
yep,
I won't let it happen again.
yep, yeah.
I won't let any
Till
Lyft
it
driver
does.
think I'm
Yeah.
stealing her car.
Favorite part of the song? What do you guys have a favorite part of the song?
It's the world without colors, the world without you. Because back to what I said about the galaxy and like the fading off,
Mm-hmm.
where at the end it's like, then stars for you, stars. And then that part,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the fading of the stars makes it feel like your mind's getting drifted off away from whatever was happening or the reason you're not feeling okay. It just makes it feel more focused on the song.
That's awesome. Yeah, you reminded me of a part I do love about this song, and like when he says stars, stars, and it made me
Mhm.
think of something interesting. Like so when you hear that in concert, I don't know whether to sing "The Stars That Fell for You" or "The Stars, Stars" part. Like, which do you sing?
You gotta go with a buddy and you say, I'm gonna sing this
Yeah,
and you're gonna sing that.
have a plan. Have a
Have a
plan.
plan.
Yeah, that's a great part, Kayleigh. I love that part too. That World Without Colors, World Without You, and then it goes into the stars, stars. Yeah, that is very cool. How about you, Kristie?
I mean, I think my original lyric at the beginning is still my favorite. The we flirted with disaster. You'll be there in the beginning, I'll be there for what comes after.
Okay.
It's like it's just a love story in just a few words.
That's actually, so my favorite part, I generalized a little bit on that.
Hmm.
I called it the pre-chorus, that one, and the other one
Hmm.
that sounds very similar. I
Hmm.
love that build, that kind of like poetic way of getting from the story into the
Hmm.
chorus.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the lyrics in it are awesome. I always love that trick in pop music that I've mentioned here a million times, like where they kind of change a line or something or like a word in between. So like in this case, I'll be there for what comes after, versus
Swinging
when
from the
you were swinging from
rafters.
the rafters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to listen to the piano only version where he was just playing on piano on YouTube?
I did.
What'd you think?
I love Andrew and his piano skills. I appreciate all of the band, but sometimes I just like that broken down because you really can hear the like inflection in his voice because there's no real background
Hmm.
to it. It's just really pretty.
I love when he takes like one of those, like a song with a lot of production, right?
Hmm.
Namely Zombies era and Tilt to the Wind No More era.
Yeah.
And then he breaks it down to just piano. It's just like, wow, when you strip all that production
It's
away,
still
like
amazing.
it is like an amazing, like, again, it's a good song when it can be done in different ways. And a song
Hmm.
like this, I sometimes I have a preference. I don't even know which one I prefer. I love the
Yeah.
full band version. I love all the production with this song. And I love the one where he does it on just piano. It's pretty cool. I'll link that one on YouTube. And again, probably very similar to the way I saw it in Indianapolis a couple of years back.
Yeah.
It was pretty special.
Yeah. I just think, like that's his talent.
Hmm.
And when he showcases just his talent with obviously the songwriting as well,
Hmm.
it's something else. But it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't take away. I enjoy
Hmm.
the produced one
Yep, I do
just as
too.
much, but it's just something different and
Yeah.
it hits different.
It
Hmm.
feels like whenever you're at a concert or something, and it's like you said, there's a lot of producing and all the electric guitar or something like that, and then it's just Andrew on the piano, just playing whatever song that's like not usually
Hmm.
just by himself. Usually has like Bobby, everyone else. There, it's just him, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that he did that big of a part. That sounds
Hmm.
that
Because
great.
sometimes the piano does get lost in
Hmm.
some of the production.
It's true.
Not all the way lost. There's just other things to focus on, and maybe it's just my ADHD brain.
No, I see that too
I
because
can't
like
focus on all of the things, so I just pick on the one.
let's say you hear a guitar solo, you're gonna focus on that. But let's say Andrew was playing little notes in there, but then when there's no
Hmm.
guitar solo, you just hear the notes. You're like, wow, I didn't know he did that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. When that piano comes through more clearly, like when the other music drops out and you just hear the piano, you're like, wow, okay, okay.
Okay, Andrew, get it.
Yeah. I have found that the songs that bury the piano are the songs I don't enjoy as much. I really want to hear the piano, not necessarily always front and center. Sometimes it has to drop off. And I'm good with that, actually.
Right.
It happened in Jack's Mannequin. It happens in the Wilderness. It actually
Hmm.
happened in Soko as well.
Yeah.
But if the whole entire song I don't hear enough piano, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm looking for it. I'm like, where's that
Yeah,
piano? Wait
because
a
he's our
second.
piano man.
Yeah, bring back that piano.
Yeah.
There is another version. So we talked about the piano only version. There's another version, and it's the remix, and it includes an artist named Japanese Wallpaper.
Hmm.
Did you have a chance to listen to that one?
I did whenever they dropped it.
Okay.
My husband is into electronic music,
Oh, okay.
so he thought that that was really a really cool way to listen to some Andrew because he felt like that gave it a little bit of more of a techno vibe to it than what it was prior.
I mean, that probably plays more to that crowd better, but
Hmm.
going back to what I was saying a moment ago, like when the piano gets buried, it loses me a little bit, and I feel like that's what happened in that version. I re-listened to it back
It's not my
this.
favorite of the three.
Yeah, it's my least favorite of the three.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. But I think it's because you lose that piano.
Right.
It's interesting. I like again when they do something different. When someone like tries
Absolutely.
takes something and does something different with it. But to be honest, remixes aren't really my jam for the most part. There's probably some exceptions that I could come up with, but they seem to raise the percussion. So they raised up the percussion volume
and drop out the
they drop out the piano, and then there's like a beat to it, which is probably where a techno person would enjoy that. But I just wasn't as much for me. It lost some of what was special to it.
I agree.
But what they did actually like kind of tweak the levels on like the atmospheric sounds, like those different sound effects, which
you could hear more of that.
Yeah, which was kind of interesting. It's like, oh, that's what's going on back there. Now you can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear it more.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat to hear, but otherwise I was like, yeah, I listened to it a few times, but I'm going to stick with the Andrew,
I'm with you.
Tommy and Jeremy version. So on the album.
Yeah, I
so,
prefer that one myself.
Yeah. So, did you have a chance to watch the music video?
I did, and to be honest, I hadn't really paid too much of attention to it when it came out because, we're not in the MTV era where music videos are readily available, right?
You're not watching it, like you don't have the TV on in the background with the music videos playing anymore.
But so when I was prepping for this and watching that, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much imagery in this one, now we know 4.5-ish minute music video.
Yeah.
And like my overall thoughts are like everything relates back to another song that he did and like his past life with Jax or Soko and stuff. So like overall this is just like a video of nostalgia.
I was so excited when I saw this because I first watched it when it came out, I don't know, all those years, summer or fall of 2022. And I didn't honestly put too much thought into it. I was just like, okay, I'm seeing this, this, and this. Like, oh, those are definitely references to song titles and maybe some lyrics in there. And then I did this like crazy deep dive in the past week. And I made all these notes, and we're not going to go through them all, but I was like picking out song titles and lyrics. And I was like, oh my gosh, is every single thing in this video something that he's referenced in the past, like in a song title, in an album, in a lyric, on tour? And I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one I wanted to pinpoint specifically is because you were nice enough to give me the list of what you saw throughout the music video, and the laundromat and the washing machine. And it reminds me because it was, for the longest time, it was like my wallpaper before I think on MySpace. And it's Andrew, dark-haired Andrew in front of a washing machine in a photo shoot.
Oh.
So that's exactly where it took me.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that.
And it was a Jax era photo shoot. I'll find it for you and I'll send it to you.
That's what it's referencing, because I had a question mark on that one. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's that. Now, of course, unless we ask, we won't know necessarily. Yeah. But since there was a reference to the washing machine and the laundromat, I was like, I wonder. So that's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot, like the palm trees, of course.
Oh, yeah.
One of our favorite
lyrics. And they're like flying around, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Everything Must Go, I noticed in there, like when we're talking about the fans and the lamps and...
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised you picked up on that. Yeah, I had to like do some like lyric searches to find some of this stuff, and it was only my friend Jenna and I were like chatting back and forth about this, and she came up with some of that too. She was like, vinyl record player, Everything Must Go, and I was
Everything
like, what?
Must Go, yeah.
Like, I didn't pick that up at all.
And then like I think the other one, the duck. Of course, I don't think he references a duck in any of his songs, but we know he likes to crowd surf on a duck sometimes, or a llama, depending upon the day.
There was no llama.
But that's what it made me think of, like everything in his past in one little music video with just little screenshots of things of
they were like
past
cutouts.
Experiences.
It was like cutouts of and then just kind of floating across the screen or twisting around the screen and things like that. I would highly recommend everybody watch this video and like make a list, because if you're a nerd like me anyway, I made a list, and it's several of them are references to Stars lyrics, like the Stars music song that we've been talking about today. There's like 4 or 5 or 6 of those, probably more than I even noticed. But then, like you said, like Everything Must Go, and like oceans and stars and solar system and galaxy, and there's even a black hole I wanted to mention. Let me look at my notes here. Black Hole from American Love, like American Love, deep cut from the Jax era.
Deep cut.
Yeah, like, and then the more obvious one, astronaut, right?
Right.
But yeah, there's a Polaroid picture through the lens of my Polaroid camera from Hey 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 We're All Gonna
Hey, hey,
Die.
hey.
So
I love that song.
yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's a firework over the
Yeah.
freeway from walking by. It's so cool. Like I could go on all day. Like I could just do this like all day, but we probably
Be a
shouldn't
whole
take a half an
episode of
hour.
just this
Yeah.
music video.
But when I was chatting with my friend Jenna the other night about this, like I was listing ocean lyrics, and
Mhm.
after a while she was like, "I get it, lots of ocean references."
There's a lot. There's a lot.
In the video, there's an ocean toward the end, and I
Yeah.
counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I get them all? 10, 11, 12 songs that mention ocean or
Oceans.
oceans
Yep.
in them. So that was fun. It was really fun to go through. So I counted over 30 songs referenced, and
Hmm.
I may not be right, but maybe some of them were a stretch. I mean, window, meet me at my window, right? If there's a window,
Yep.
meet me
That's a
at my
good one.
window. Like that makes sense.
I think you
Flowers,
put
Monday
Glacier
flowers.
on here, and I
Yeah.
went a different route, kind of, with
What'd you
Amy
think?
I, because it's
Oh
all
my
about being
gosh.
so cold.
I wrote that too. Ice on the
Look
lake.
at us go,
Yeah, I have that here.
Amy
Decided to
I.
walk, there was ice on the lake. So,
Like, so it's not a glacier, but
yeah,
it's ice.
it was, yeah. Waves, surfing,
Hmm.
Chucks or Converse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a tornado. I didn't know what that was a reference to, but Andrew did get canceled for a tornado 1 year
Tornado.
after the song came out, so probably not that. But
Yeah, probably not.
yeah,
But that's where I went too. I was like, that was four chords,
four
right?
chord. Yeah, I probably shouldn't even say those two words together because I'm going to four chord in like 4 weeks. So three
No, it's
weeks.
gonna be perfect. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
gonna be yeah.
magic.
No storms this year like the
Beautiful,
last two.
beautiful, beautiful weather.
Yeah, there was a marching band from Canyon Moon, marching band and a high
Yeah.
school dream. We referenced a matchbook from this exact song. There was a
Hmm.
matchbook, which I thought was a book, I think, when I sent it to you, but I changed it in my notes. It was actually a matchbook. You mentioned the lamp. There was holes in the
Hmm.
roof, like for
Yeah.
stars. There was a sweater with a hole in it. It kind of zooms in on it.
Yeah.
I saw. Did you see the paw print?
I didn't.
Okay, so there's a paw print middle toward end,
Okay.
and I was like,
Just kind of peeps in for us real
yeah, it
quick.
kind of like actually kind of rolls kind of moves across the screen slowly.
Okay.
I thought Doris Day because he did write a
Oh,
song called Doris
yep.
Day about
Yeah.
his old dog. Again, I could go on all. I mean, moon, television. There was a
Yeah.
cruise ship. This was before he had his own cruise.
Maybe he was putting it out into the universe.
Yeah, he did do Rock Boat before, but like he
Yeah,
didn't
that
have
could
his own
be.
boat until this. So Lighthouse for Watch the Sky, hotel like your family's old hotel,
Hmm.
star space. I've got a trivia question for you, and it's okay. Like I would have no idea, but I'm just gonna throw it out because we talked about
Okay.
stars today. I looked it up because I'm a nerd and I have all the lyrics on one document that I can search.
Oh, nice.
How many songs do you think in his catalog, out of roughly 160-ish that Andrew has written, that he's recorded, how many songs reference stars?
Mm. And not space in general, but stars
Just
specifically.
the word star or stars only, and not rock star.
Okay. I was like, well, there's that song. How many times
Yeah.
did it say that?
Yep.
And in the lyrics.
Yeah, in the
So
lyrics, yeah, out of 160 songs, he says this.
let's
He says the word star or stars in this many.
let's say I'm gonna say 45.
Oh wow, you went way high.
Way
You went
over?
yeah, wow.
It's because I think it's because space is really where my brain is at.
Yeah, I think if we included satellite, space,
Space.
sun,
Then we'd be at
moon,
45.
yeah, we'd probably get up to 45. But just the word star and stars, I counted 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah, and I would
I
have
really
guessed
overshot that. I'm
before
shooting for the stars, Steve.
you're shooting like way out like 45. Like so 45 would have been a quarter, more than a quarter of his songs, but it's actually like just less than 10%. So I just thought that was kind of funny, like to
Huh.
know like out of all his songs. So, but it's
Yeah.
still a lot. It's still a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I think we know that Andrew loves space.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think my brain is just space.
There's a lot of space references, but the
Yeah.
word star specifically 14.
That's
And
awesome.
I might be wrong because that was just me counting like a control F search, like Let's see how
Yeah,
many like songs, not times that he said that. Now times he
right.
says the word stars, you might be closer.
Just in this song alone, I
Yeah.
would get quite a bit more.
If I do a control F on that doc, I bet it's 45. Like so yeah. It's a good
We're just
job.
gonna say it is,
Yeah.
just to make me feel
Yeah.
better.
I'm going to get back to you on that. I think that'd be funny.
Okay.
All right. So anything else about the music video? The music video is awesome. I recommend it. Everybody should go check it out.
It's so awesome. I think my husband came in when I was watching it, and it was at the point where Andrew was getting in the bed, but it was just funny to look at because
Yeah.
he was like, "What are you watching?"
Yeah, it is a
It's like,
weird
why
it's a
is
weird
it?
image.
Yeah, because it's like a cartoony type bed with
Hmm.
a real type person laying in it. So I just thought that was a funny little image for
Yeah.
somebody just randomly to walk in on.
Yeah, the person laying in the bed next to him, presumably an image of Kelly, but
But she was made
they're
of
just
stars.
made of stars. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
Coming
very
back to
cool.
stars, bringing it
I
back.
enjoyed that music video a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And
Thank you for watching that. Thank you for taking a look
yeah,
at it because it's so
absolutely.
much fun to like dig into the imagery. I don't know that there's ever been an Andrew McMahon video before or since that has that level of callback, nostalgia, references,
Hmm.
symbolism. So probably not.
Probably not.
Final question for you: Is this one of the best songs on Tilted to Win No More, or where does it rank in that era for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say it's top three.
Oh wow. Okay, so what do you have other favorites? I'm curious now.
Smoke Ribbons
Smoking
probably
Ribbons. Okay.
is probably like one of my favorite songs by him.
Oh, good song.
And I really liked Skywriting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Little Disaster.
Yeah,
Hmm.
okay, yeah. Oh, because I was gonna say
Okay, let
Stars.
me do it again.
I think
We're gonna
Stars.
do
Okay.
my first one would be Smoke and Ribbons, then Little Disaster. I'm gonna move Stars down to top four. Then it'll go Nobody Tells You When You're Young,
Oh, good one. Oh my gosh, so many
and
good
then
ones on there.
Stars.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say Stars is by and large my favorite on this album, but yeah, Little Disaster I think is my favorite.
Yeah, that's a really good
I
one.
probably said as much a few months ago when I talked about it here. I think I still got to go that route. Stars is maybe my second favorite. It's Stars is a
Okay.
great song. I
It's a
love
great
it.
song.
It's memorable. I know it was the first single off the album. I know it was like the most quote unquote known one, but like
Hmm.
there's a reason for it. It's a great song. It should
It
be
is.
in the set list. I think
Well,
it's
and I
like a
think too,
celebratory thing, like for the fan base.
absolutely. And I think too, you know, he obviously is writing music just because he loves it, but he knows what we like as well as
Hmm.
his fans. But I think music industry overall is about growth.
Hmm.
And I feel like this was a really good song to put himself out there for people that may not know who he is,
That's a really good
which is
point.
crazy to me that that people don't know who
There's
he is,
pe-
but
there's
there's
people who don't
plenty.
know who he is. What?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
my poor coworkers, they're like, we get it. You
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
Like, but you need to listen to it because it's just better than just me talking about it.
I remember making that announcement on my team call in
Mhm.
November. Like, my boss was like, "Oh, Steven, they call me Steven at work. Steven,
Mhm.
you're gonna be on vacation next week." And I was like, "Yep, I'm going on a cruise with my favorite musician and all his biggest fans." And they were like, "What? Like who?" And I was like, "Well, Andrew McMahon. Like he's in." I didn't say because I know they didn't, but I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, he's in three different bands." I always have to explain this. He's in three different bands, so he's bringing them all, and like
Like, how do you not know
they're
this?
like, "Okay, so do we know any of these artists that are gonna be on here?" I was like, "Well, no, but like."
Maybe.
It's really important, like yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's, I wish that everyone could know and love him like we do.
Yeah, I do too.
He
Yeah,
deserves
it's
it all.
right. Little by little,
Mhm.
I've planted seeds out there. Like
Yep.
I was at a birthday party last weekend and I was like someone said something that reminded me and I was like, "Oh," and that's why I posted that meme the other day. I was like, "Oh, I did it again. Oops, I did it again."
Yep.
Like
Sorry.
yeah, dropped
Sorry, not
another
sorry.
Andrew reference. Yeah, like let me tell you about his whole catalog and why it's the soundtrack
Yeah,
to my
this
life,
is where you
please.
should start.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a
And then you can
mix.
work your way back.
Here's a mix CD. Do you have a CD player
Do you
somewhere?
have a CD player in your car?
Yeah.
If not, I can drop you a Spotify
Right. Yeah.
playlist.
I have found people are not as likely to listen to a Spotify playlist, unfortunately.
I think it goes back to what you were talking about, the attention spans.
And it's like the physical media seem to mean a little bit more if you hand somebody like,
Yeah.
here, this is a
Well, I
gift.
think, we're not talking about mixtape, but there's a reason that song exists because that's what it was. You were
Yeah.
making mixed albums of songs that meant something to you to share with the world,
Oh yeah.
whatever that looked like, whomever you were sharing it with.
Yep. Any final thoughts? Anything we missed about stars or anything Andrew related? I'm sure we could go on forever, but
I mean, we really could. This conversation could last till midnight, but
yeah.
no, I mean, I think we touched on everything that I had intended on. Thank you for including Kayleigh, and even though it wasn't about stars,
That's
I
okay.
mean,
No,
she
I
is
wanted to hear
going to
it.
be a star.
A different kind of star, not a
Yeah,
star in the
not a star
solar
from the
system,
sky.
but star down here. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. We were joking, and I told her the next time when we go to the show in Atlanta that I'm going to print out the photo that Connor took of her being a star and having her sign it and give it to Andrew. So he has her first autograph.
She's got to sign it right in front of him too. She's be like,
Yeah.
"Here,
Like,
this
here
is
you
for
go.
you."
This
Sign
is
her
for
name.
you.
Like, yeah. Oh, he would
To my biggest
accept with.
fan.
Yeah, to my biggest fan.
No, I thought that would be
Second
funny.
biggest fan, right? Like
Second
you're
biggest
her
fan.
biggest fan,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. We're
Um,
proud of her. That was a big deal.
yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. Like I said, she's cooler than me.
We are not cool enough to get on stage with Andrew, but like,
No.
yeah, our
And
kids
to be honest,
are
I don't know
doing
that I
this.
would have done it if I put her
Oh,
up for it. I said, "Would you be doing this?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay," because I'm not going to do it.
we had a similar conversation here at home where I was like, "Well, if you girls want to do it, that's fine, but I'm not doing it."
Yeah, because I will not be up there.
Yeah,
Nope, that's not my vibe.
I can't even remember
I will.
lyrics.
I'm a
So
crowd person. I'll
yeah,
be with the crowd.
yeah, I'll sing in the crowd. I'll be the chorus,
Absolutely.
the background
Yeah.
chorus member. Well, thank you so much, Kristie, and tell Kayleigh thank you. This was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we did this.
Absolutely, Steve. Thank you. I'm so glad to have been here and talked about our love for Andrew. Keep bringing these on because we all enjoy listening to them.
Thank you. And I want to thank everybody who's listening right now. It's so much fun when people chat me. Like Kristie did a couple years ago, we were first talking about the new Friends tour and then, other things like Holiday from Real and Red Rocks. And then we said, hey, let's get together and record an episode. So anybody else who wants to, follow in Kristie's footsteps and feel free to reach out.
And I look forward to seeing you in November, hopefully.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then on the ship for sure.
On Holiday from Real, you're joining the second tour, huh?
Yeah.
That is
I
so
missed out on the
cool.
first one. I could not have the FOMO this year.
Oh my gosh, it was life-giving and life-changing. I know you've already heard, but
Yep, that's why I'm going.
yeah, it's so much fun, and I can't wait to see you there and everybody else there that gets to go. I'll end with this. We have skirted lines and endings. We have flirted with disaster. You were there in the beginning. I'll be there for what comes after.